So we're doing all of these without Shroud as well. So just to kind of, I want these to be as good as I can get them. So anyways, with that being said, we fucking go. We do our ready check. I got a pull timer ready. And oh shit. We do like a 9 or 10 second timer is fine. I've got verse food, which is huge pog. Main stat is not ideal.
2, 1.
He's not gonna just to start the key, nerd. Is bolster. Be careful. Pulling back. So it is fortified. So general practice, not to be used everywhere, but is to lust on the first pull. No, we're not shrouding, my guy. We're gonna just lust this and hopefully clap it. I want to try to vortex and bring this idiot in. There we go. Also skittish, so lusting on trash initially is not the best for like everywhere, but it is definitely good. For Freehold, there's a lot of trash at the start that you can like efficiently lust on. Just watching out for the backhand from the Enforcer. Really trying to be careful not to pull these over there. This little boy right here is just gonna sit there because he's arranged. So I'm just gonna come back and make him come up a little more. Drop a little skull on him. The DPS can hopefully take a hint as to what they should be fucking doing. I was gonna say something, but yeah, all these mobs are pretty much, they just melee, they throw poison on you. It's not a big deal because you can dispel yourself. Drop a skull on the Emissary, and then we'll get the bone saw after. He's gonna heal because of this. It's not a big deal, but again, this is a pug key. Ideally, I could have a healer or a balanced druid root the Tide's Emissary prior to it coming out. So I don't have to deal with it. Any CC you lay on the Emissary of the Tides it's not gonna last for more than 8 seconds. Like if I throw a root on it, instead of 30, it would only last for 8. So just something you really need to keep in mind. Drop the poison stack. Do not forget that the bone saws drop the healing debuff on you, which reduces your healing taken, which is really no bueno for bears. So you don't necessarily need a dispel off it, but if you have like a pally or a monk or a priest in your group who can dispel it, it's nice. The priest wasn't dispelling me, but I'm gonna put priest and Boomy on enchanteds. We go through. So key binding target markers is huge. Okay, so I just marked the skull on X real quick. I told him we're just gonna run through. Let that boy go the other way, and I'm gonna LOS these over here, drag them right over. Now, while not using comms and marking a skull on X, I'm really gonna hope that, oh my god, I have to help knock it back. I'm really gonna hope that they will just interrupt skull. If they don't, you know, I just kind of have to deal with that, so it's whatever. The priest still isn't dispelling the healing debuff on me, so I'm just gonna roll on instincts. Because I've got my essence up. I don't think they kicked skull. Nice, dude. Sometimes it'd be like that. That's a part of why I'm doing these in pugs too, just because I definitely want to help emphasize like how things should be. Priest, dispel me. Well, he did. Thank you. Fuck dude. I think he did it like as I typed it. Oh, don't let the boy walk into the pack. It's got to be one of the most dangerous things about this whole expansion is like mobs running away and pulling extra shit, dude. It's no bueno. And sorry, I'm not gonna read chat a lot during this, boys. So let's see if I can get this boy to do it. I got a skull and an X on these. Boomy, root enchant, and keep recasting it. He's got a rooted. Keep it rooted. Let's see if he does it. No, he's not gonna do it. He's fucking killing it, dude. One of these nerds. Oh my god, whatever, dude. It's fine. It's like, I just wanted to see if he would do it, but essentially doing a Tides in a pack like this, that it's fortified, so you know, like obviously they're gonna hurt a little bit, but it's not the end of the world if you tank a Tides Emissary with a pack of trash that's really only doing melee stuff. Why are you 5 years away, dude? Oh my god. Fine, I'm bringing the trash to you. What do you mean? Priest, stop moving, please. Running around like a spurg. But yeah, the enforcers, just watch out for their backhands. If you have Sues, you can use them on the Mastiffs here. But these guys, in general, they're gonna melee hard, but it's not really a big deal. Watch the backhand, you gotta see where they're facing. That rogue just got smacked. Omega low. A rogue taking damage, dude? No way, that never happens. Imagine a rogue taking unnecessary damage. Alright, so we lessened our trash, so we don't have it for this boss, which is fine. We just have to be a little bit more efficient. But bosses right now, with the scaling, the change to the scaling on Beguiling, and like the higher in the keys you go, the steeper the difficulty of the key scales. But it's kind of countered by the essences and all the new power-ups that everybody has. So not lusting on fortified bosses is generally fun. In this example, in Freehold, this first boss is not a big deal. But if you have Eudora, and if you're doing like any kind of a higher key, like anything like 14 to 15 and above, if that's like the zone that you're in right now, you probably want to lust Eudora. She's still a pain in the ass, and chances are you don't want to get hit by the bird. Sorry. Chances are somebody is gonna take some kind of unnecessary damage on that fight, and you know, like hopefully it goes well. And I don't like to say necessarily plan for the worst, but not the worst thing that you could do. Not in like a negative mindset, but just you know, just in the essence of trying to time the keys. Optimizing lust times is probably one of the better things that you can do for yourself when you start to tank keys. Just kind of thinking about things like this enforcer, I could have this rogue pull him off to the side. Rogue, well, he's assassination, so he's probably not going to want to use vanish for that, but outlaw rogues and or mages can pull this boy one way or the other, and y'all can just run by and then they can invis or vanish, so you don't have to fight him, because fighting just one trash mob at a time in keys is really not efficient. Like, as a tank, man, if you, like, first of all, little meme I have that I like to say, if you never die, dude, like, you're not trying hard enough. Okay, so here's a situation where like, it's not gonna work, dude. So I'm gonna mark a square on the dude that charges. I'm gonna mark an X on the dude that casts, and hopefully we can make this work. Just don't stand in front of square. X is gonna cast. We gotta be ready to move. Hopefully somebody doesn't get murked. Nice, dude. Hog you. Sometimes things are gonna suck like this, to where like you may not have the CC required in the party to handle everything in the most optimal way, and that's fine. It's nothing to feel bad about. You just have to kind of make sure you are, you know, trying to be creative here and there, thinking of what you can do. And worst case, if you really just have to try to brute force down some shit, just do whatever you can to like minimize the negative effects of this pull. So like, we killed the ties there, we dodged the shit. I can pop Roar was on cooldown, but I could have popped that for them just to help. One side note about the enchanted emissaries, if you can stun them as they die and they will go away right away. This is like current trend right now, but you do not get percent for them if you do that. So if you CC the tides as they die, you do not get the percent that they would normally give. That being said, watching the traps here, I'm a bear. Boomies can go cat form, and so can a healer for this to clear out these traps. They just don't affect druids. Blizz never fixed it, so you know, just a little side tip. Anyways, I digress. So, the enchanted emissaries, these right here, do not give percent. They are the only one that does not. The tides, emissaries, and the void will give percent. I'm pretty sure it's based off the mob count of the dungeon. Dude, this mage is just laying into one mob, dude. Fucking genius. Wait, Swabby doesn't bolster? Question mark? I'm not gonna chalk that up to that mage having a 200 IQ and knowing that that wouldn't happen. I'm not giving him that credit. Like, I'm trolling, but I'll almost a guarantee that he didn't know that that wouldn't bolster. I didn't know that wouldn't bolster. Pog you for teaching me that, mage. But yeah, so you can see, like, if you mouse over them, the tides gives 2.02%. So that's pretty much going to be the same across every key. I'm going to mark the brine scale here because the frost blast that they cast is really no bueno. I'm going to knock the enchanted, and I'm going to range pull this. Drag these back a little bit. Hopefully they start to knock that back. Get that frost blast is the most important thing. The other blasts off of this are going to hurt a bit, but it's just really important to make sure that frost blast gets kicked, because that not only casts on you, it casts on everybody that he aims at. So really just like one of the essentials of this place, especially for this next pull too. We're gonna see where we're gonna see. So this is gonna be kind of a monk-esque pull here, just to kind of help us save a little bit of time. I'm looking at the tides, by the way, here. Like, so we have a tides here. I have an enchanted here. The enchanted's honestly annoying. If I don't have to deal with it, I kind of don't want to. So, but we've got lust up, and they've got cooldowns up, as I can see right here. So fucking let's blast, boys. We blast. I'll put a skull on the tides. I'm gonna roll on instincts. Now, the Buccaneers can't be CC'd here, so you really got to be careful. As they start to spin, you just got to move. The Blind Rages can still be soothed through the tide, so that's nice. She got nuked, so that's fantastic. Everybody popped their cooldowns besides the Rogue. Fucking Priest got zerged. I will B-res him. As soon as he fucking dies, whenever that may be. I'm gonna roll another instincts. I'm gonna B-res this nerd. Monk S. I cannot soothe that right now, my guy. I'm sorry. I can stun it, though. With a big bull rush. High Mountain, most underrated race in the game, by the way. I got my essence running. Lucid's about to fall off, so now it's going to be time for me to start kiting. Life of a tank, by the way, here, boys. The higher in the keys you go, the more you are just going to be kiting. Your job as a tank is to pull as much shit as you can. Try to guide your DPS as best you can. And live so your DPS and or healer can kill it. It is not your first job is not to do damage. Your job is to pull as much as you can and survive, and then live. Okay? So all of our things are on cooldown now. We didn't lust, dude. Heck. I'm just gonna lust now, and we'll carry it over. Okay. Rogue is not tricksing me, dude. You're like an actual cuck right now. I don't think he's tricked me like once this entire key, dude. Yeah. So we had lost, which is why I did the big pull. Nobody's interrupting the things. The rogue's not interrupting. The mage isn't interrupting, so that's fine. It sucks, but I mean, that's a healer issue. I could sit here and type in chat right now, interrupt something, but I would probably die, so I don't want to do that. I just want to do whatever I can to just try to keep this pull under control, soothing that blind rage. I can in-cap roar these. I'm gonna vortex. Now you see what I'm doing here? This is exactly what I just said. It is my job to survive, so they can kill it, and we don't wipe and waste a bunch of fucking time. So I'm just trying to live. I can knock the bananas and just control this as best I can. Punk ass. Punk, thank you for the sub, dude. Blind rage, I want to soothe that. But you see here, it's not my job to do damage, dude. It's my job to live. And pray that my DPS live and my healer lives and they get the job done. I like to do damage, of course. But, you know, the damage I do does not take priority over us timing the key and not wiping and having a smooth run. Because that's also how you make friends, dude. Like, that's how you meet people, is by good, clean runs. And if all you care about is, like, the damage that you do, like, that's fine. But, chances are you're gonna have more negative experiences than positive with you only really caring about yourself. It's very counterproductive to the tank role, which is a trend that I'm seeing happen more and more right now, is like, but my damage, but this, and it's like, dude, it's not your job, dude. Like, fucking smash it and get it where you can, but essentially, like, it's not your job. Mark skulls. Trying to keep the DPS attuned to what they're going to be doing. Soothing the blind raids. The maze. The dragon's breath. The big dragon's breath. And we've got cooldowns up too. The boomy just used Incarn, dude. Come on, fam. We got a boss right behind us. Anyways. My healer has mana, so I'm going to go. 3, 2, 1. But we're not in comms, so a pull timer does nothing. But alright, so this is one of the more annoying weeks. Eudora and Jolly. I have to watch for Eudora. I'm gonna roar my party to get over here. Keep a skull on Eudora because I really want her to die first. She is an actual bitch. Pop my essence. I heck it. This barrel will increase the damage that people in your party do. So anytime Raoul, the boy, wherever he is, anytime he is the inactive boss in this fight, he will be dropping that barrel for you. So I really try to keep trash near the barrel, or keep the bosses near the barrel that he drops, to kind of maximize the DPS that my party can do. Like the mage is in it too. The rogue doesn't know about it. It's not a big deal. If we were in comms, I could say, yo, brother, hop in that little ring. You're going to do more damage. And he'll be like, oh, really? I'm getting in that ring right now, brother. That's usually how that goes. But not a lot of people know that. The mage and the boomy know it. The rogue has no clue. Now, a little trick here. Raoul, the NPC right here, Mr. Square, he fucking chunks trash, dude. He is huge pog. So I'm gonna put a skull on Jolly, and this is just like a little trick. Raoul, as long as he stays in combat, will help you kill anything you pull. Ideally, you want to get the boss dead first, of course, because it's especially this week because it's bolstering. But Raoul will continue to drop the barrel there to get more damage. And watch when Jolly dies. Watch the Crusher's health right here. Raoul is fucking... Look at the rogues doing nothing. The maze and the boomy are doing alright. But Raoul is fucking this dude up, dude. You see how fast he's dying? He had 3 mil health, dude. And we have done like maybe 2 mil all total. Raoul fucking just destroyed that, dude. But yeah, obviously it's nicer to do it with trash as well, but I pulled all the trash because I forgot about it, so I'm gonna knock these boys away. Mainly because this pat that stuck with the tides actually, so never mind. But if that pat walks right down here, AoE abilities can go through this bridge and pull that pack. And like if anybody like walks like right here, like anywhere on the edge or like over here, like you will pull that pat. They're not active at the moment because of the tides that's up there with them, but it's really helpful to know. So if you're gonna pull this, just like grab it, knock it, drag it, whatever you gotta do to get it away from the path of those. And I'm avoiding this enchanted over here, I'm avoiding the tides, and I'm avoiding the void over there, because fuck all that, it's really unnecessary. So let's go for the kicks. Everybody's got some kind of cooldown up, so I'm just gonna fucking do all this. That mage is gonna lay into a target that is not skull, and that's fine, dude. You do you. Oh shit. I am gonna come down here and start RP though. Hopefully there's not a harpooner in that pack that's gonna fucking yoink me. We got RP started. Be good, boys. I got a skull on this big boy now. Just watching what he does. Little side note that I will show you just to prove it. The crushers do not bolster, like we're at full trash, and like I know this. I'm well aware of this. There's obviously more optimal ways to do this, but we're more in an educational sense right now, and me just kind of trying to pass off like things that I've learned in my time. So trash count's kind of like irrelevant here. But just to show you, so if you ever have like a body pull, like if anybody like accidentally pulls this one or like that one, or if you don't pull this one and he gets pulled during a turtle, it's not the end of the world. You are gonna get a little fucked up as tank, but they will not bolster the turtle. Oh, come on, boys. Nice. Alright, so I'm just gonna grab this boy just cause. Just to prove to you. If they have fixed it and he bolsters him right now, I'm gonna be a little tilted. It's alright. I don't think they have, so. Alright, so here we go. I got the turtle. I'm gonna drop a skull on this boy. Watching the AoE. And really be careful encountering a handful of people that don't know this. If you walk anywhere near the edge of this, like that mage, how is he not getting food thrown at him? If you walk like anywhere up here, the boys are gonna throw food at you. I think I came back down too soon. I kind of don't want to risk it at the moment, but it's not a big deal. I can take a hit. The turtle will like reset, so you want to be careful. Yeah, he just fucking threw food at me, dude. Look. Hit chance decreased by 75%, which is another bad side effect from that. So not only do they fucking destroy you with the food they throw at you, but you can't hit shit. So really don't just stay inside the ring. Don't ever walk on the edge. Don't walk out. Don't do anything. If you walk out, he will reset, which, you know, obviously not good. Kill the boy! Kill the boy! No bolster. You see that? Bog you. They didn't fix it yet. It's been like that. They've changed it a couple times, but I guess in their effort to fix it, they forgot about the crushers. Omega low. But yeah, man, that's it. Voids in general, like obviously if it's like a more I guess it's a good opportunity to say that. We have 3 weeks of rotations for the emissaries. We have a heavy void week, we have a heavy enchanted week, and we have a heavy tides week. Currently, the week that I'm on now is a heavy tides week. It's not a big deal. So you really want to try to... Voids are not ideal to pull. Like, it's really not optimal. They waste a bunch of time. They can waste personal defensive and or healer cooldowns that you might need. Like for example, in temple if you ever have, like, before the third boss, Galvez, if there's, like, a void right there, like, right before him, it's actually, like, really unfortunate. So you really need to, like, be careful. I'm gonna just heal through this shark. I got a health pot ready. There we go. But voids are just in general like no bueno. Like you really want to avoid them as much as you can. The enchantments aren't like a big deal as they get like knocked away and such. But it is important to know that they do get meleeed. The voids do melee and they hit for quite a bit. So you really try to not only do you not want to let them hit you, but you don't want them to hit anybody else. If like in general, like if I have like any kind of range in the party or the healer, I will roll whatever cooldowns or heals I need to at the beginning of a pull to make sure that I'm fine, so they can just kind of keep their attention on the enchanted, to keep it away from us, because the damage that they reflect is really not ideal. So go. Go, go, go. So, in the essence of showing how to do more of this without having a rogue, because not a lot of people are going to have rogues in their keys. I'm the only other Beerus in the party, so come on, dude. Alright, stay dead. Just stay. Why no shroud? Because I don't need it, bro. Relax, it's fine. I'm making a video. I'm not gonna tell them that though. So this is how you would do this without a rogue, where the thought process of, okay, so I'm full on trash. I don't need any of this. Why would I waste time trying to kill it when I could just... Oh my god. I'm a speed pot. Fuck these boys, dude. I'm gonna be-res the healer, because the boomy got wrecked. And there we go. And that's how you skip to last boss in Harlem without a rogue. There's nothing wrong with a death run as long as you have the time to spare for it. Not foregoing the fact that there's a lot of very subpar rogues out here right now that need to spend more time learning how to play their spec, but yeah, you don't need rogues for things. It's not like, if you're not doing like high keys, having a rogue is not essential. Come to boss, move together with me, range, come to boss, nerds. They're gonna fucking ignore me, and that's fine. So I'm just gonna go to them. Stop running away, Boomy. You're here. You're with me. This boss is still super easy. I can in-cap this boy. You can instantly kill any of the ads that spawn, by the way, with like any kind of in-cap. Rogues can blind. Dragon's Breath would probably do it too. But you can also go the other route. Have somebody root it. I'm gonna vortex it. Let's just slow it down because in-cap's got 8 more seconds left on the cooldown. And then if it comes really close, I can either just move away. I have my Typhoon, but I kind of want to hold on to it for an emergency. Oh my god, this has been not on overall the entire time. It's unfortunate. Alright, so I told them I would like us to move together just to make this easy, so alright, here they come. The druid, of course, is doing his own thing because he's a cool guy, and that's fine. I can't get out there to in-cap that ad, so he's just gonna let it hit him. Nice. Just gonna slowly move around the fire that we already have. Easy enough. Instincts. I'm gonna hot up my party. I'm gonna incap this ad. But don't forget though, guys, Bear doesn't have any utility, by the way. So just ignore everything that I'm doing here, like healing my entire party to full, and you know, ceasing all the ads that come out, and you know, let's just pretend I'm not doing that, okay? Just moving away, holding this boy, and there you go. Opinions in chat on the first How-2-Tank vid. I feel like I probably could have talked a little bit more about the trash mechanics, but I have other videos for that, I guess, just like talking about the really bare basics. I kind of wanted to keep these focused on like Mythic Plus. I'll show the healing in a second. Chill. Chill. That might be one of the most instructive things you've ever seen on Twitch. Thank you, Lo. Yeah, I get you, Gabon. Relax, dog. I'll show you in a minute. First of all, you didn't say please. You're just saying go. So just chill. We are going to do it in every dungeon. So that's the plan, though. But yeah, so for the first of the 10 Mythic Plus dungeon vids, I guess, I'm trying to talk about as much as I can. More so my thought processes regarding the emissaries. Heavy tides weeks suck. They suck. Heavy void weeks kind of suck, but there's nothing wrong with taking a few extra moments to establish a plan for what you're gonna do. So it's like, I really like to use Discord for keys. It's not essential for low keys, but it is obviously helpful. I'm sure a lot of you have heard like the horror stories or experienced them of like just having a key run where nobody is on the same page, nobody wants to get in comms, everybody's just doing their own thing, and chances are like you don't time the key, or it's just like you might time it but it's hella close and really unpleasant. So I highly recommend using Discord, especially for keys that you might not have done yet. It's like, yeah, sure, like you've done a 9, but then if you're jumping up to like 10 or 11, like there's a lot more happening with the emissaries, and like especially from a tanking perspective, like there is for sure more to think about, especially like on the fly. So it's like the things that I was doing there where it's like, okay, well shit, I have a tides here, and there's like MDT we'll talk a little bit more about in the next video, but just to kind of highlight like this trash pack here, having a tides here, if and when I come back in here on a higher key for this week, I kind of know where the emissaries are, so like I can do something like this. So like fort, bolster, skittish. There's no guarantee that the tides will be the same. It's more so just for like any other keys I might do in the week. So if I'm doing a higher key, I'll come in here and I can just like, all right, so there's one emissary here, there's an emissary here, there's an emissary here. So like if I was going to do like another like 17 or 18 in here this week, this would be a part of my planning for thinking about what I'm going to do. Right clicking on the mob so you can see what they do. So it's like, all right, so there's a tides emissary here and there's an oarsman here which casts a sea sprout, which is going to throw a bunch of shit on the ground. We're not going to be able to interrupt it. So it's like, if you choose to do this pack, which it's usually a wise choice regardless, because the Ravagers are great. They cast this ability that apparently not a lot of people know about still, which is called Painful Motivation. They cast it on themselves and 2 other trash mobs, and it increases their damage done by 45%, which is very scary, but they lose 3% of their health every second for I don't remember how long it exactly lasts, but it usually lasts long enough to kill whatever it is, because it does I'm pretty sure it's it doesn't necessarily scale with the key, but it is still percentage based. So like they're still gonna get wrecked. So in general, you want to let painful go off. And painful motivation can go on the emissaries. It can go on the voids and the tides. It can't go on the enchanted, obviously, because like they don't die. They had like 50 million health or something like that. So but just one little extra side note to think about in here when you're planning and thinking about things. And then one last note. When I do keys, especially higher keys, after I complete the key, I have a habit of just walking out and just kind of thinking about things, especially if I didn't time the key, which does happen. I mean, you're, especially while learning and getting adjusted to higher, harder keys, it is very much a learning process, and something that you don't want to let discourage you. You really just want to be open to learning as much as you can. Be open to any kind of info or ideas or things that people have, which is another part of the reason why I really like using comms for keys. I really like using Discord, because Infested was, to a certain point in Season 1, very much a team effort, but Beguiling is... for sure, it's very, very much a team effort. Like, it's really relies on the group working together, and communicating, and just, you know, like being a team. So, anyways, I digress. I like to walk out of keys that I do. So if there were any like rough spots to where like, like I don't really like this is my preferred route for this week, to like come back here, not necessarily doing all the trash that I did. We were just kind of like memeing around. But coming back here, if there was like if the emissaries were like this, and if there was like one here, and if I felt like this was like, man, I didn't really like this pull, so let me walk over here and just kind of like have a peek at like what else was happening over here. And had there been like a tides here, probably wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. For sure, still going this way would have been better had there been a tides there, because there's a void here on top of a brine scale, which is the boy that cast a frost blast and a cone, which is just like, it's not a good thing, especially if you let the cast go off. Like, it does a lot of damage. It puts a slow on you. As a tank, that's like really no good. So I would be like, yeah, I had the tides here, you know, like it was fine, it was a little rough, but there's a fucking void here and a brine scale. There's nowhere to really LOS here. I don't know if this would work. It's pretty sketchy. I haven't tried it yet. There's a tides here that's got a brine scale and is really close to another pack with 2 other brine scales, which that's 3 frost blasts possibly going off, maybe even at the same time. And if we're not on point and making sure we interrupt all of those, it's not going to be good. On top of the fact, it's fortified, which means they're also going to be casting their fucking water bolt on you, which means not only like if I walked over here and like pulled this, if I was going to go this way, I would have come back here, tagged this, and then brought it back over here to avoid pulling the mob that's right there, because just trying to set things up in as safe a way as you possibly can is generally a good idea. Sometimes things are just going to be sketchy and challenging, which is like the point of this. But just another note on like the way I kind of think about things. So like all this trash over here, all 3 of these sucks. So I would be like, you know what, that side over there really wasn't so bad when I go back and think about it compared to doing this. Fuck all this, dude. Heck that. The enchanted's fine, it's annoying, but again, it's fortified. So when I did this RP, week to week, when you do this, the RP that you do is going to take certain trash mobs away from the trash that's here. The counterpoint to this is the trash that deactivates when you do the RP like if you see here, so like these boys, when I do the RP this week, like first of all, it's not correct on MDT because they haven't updated it yet. But it's gonna take some mobs off that would be going away with the RPs. So don't rely on it now, but once it gets updated, it'll be showing the accurate mobs most likely. The trick is they will deactivate, like they won't have a health bar, but if you pull the trash pack before you kill the boss here, that trash will engage and pull at some point during that, most likely. It doesn't always, but it's real sketchy and it's not reliable. So now also saying this, saying that, okay, so after I did the RP this week, it's not taking away the Buccaneers and it's not taking away the Harpooners. So essentially doing this pack, like doing all of this, like I still want to clear out the pat because Eudora can hop like right here and pull that pat. Like most likely somebody will be close enough to engage that, which is just always bad. Like it always gets pulled, dude. I always kill the pat here because if you have Eudora and she jumps here, like that shit, if you get a bad route, like it's going to pull and it's not going to be good. Especially if you lust on them and then you have like some monk-ass things happening, and it's really bad if you do it at like the beginning of the fight and you gotta reset the boss and you just use lust and you're just like, fuck, damn it. This sucks. So I'm probably gonna do less trash over here next time I come in here. Like I'm still gonna do the pat, probably not gonna do this up here because fortified harpooners with a buccaneer, that's probably how one or two of the deaths happened in that key. Like a harpooner gripped a healer in with a Tides Emissary and the buccaneer was spinning. So not only could we not CC anything, but he got gripped in and just got fucked. So, and that's my fault because I pulled this shit without thinking about that. So, things to think about. I'm not perfect. I try to be, but you know, like I said, always be open to like learning and such. So, that being said, if I'm not gonna do this extra pack up here, I'll still do this one. You don't necessarily have to do the one right here. I'm gonna continue to just walk out of the key and see like what's up. So there's a void there. I definitely don't want to do that still. There's a Tides here, which means it's the same pull as the one over here, which is not ideal. But little trick. With the Tides like this right here, the Swabbies are usually yellow mobs. The only reason they are red here is because of the Tides. So these guys are usually like the Swabby that you have that we did down by the boss. The Swabbies are not active normally if there's not a Tides here. It's only because of her. So that being known, you see this here? These two are affected by the Tides, but the Padfoot is not. So as long as you are careful. Same for like the enchanted ones. The voids, it's harder to tell, but the enchanted, you can for sure see that all these are affected by it. So if I tag any of these, the enchanted will engage and will start to come toward us and reflect all the damage and be annoying. But if I were to pull this, if I were to like, you know, clear this pack out, make some space, I could tag the Padfoot and not engage the Tides because it's not, first of all, none of the emissaries are linked to any of the trash packs that they're in. They are like their own individual entities, but if you pull anything that they buff, like it will like it's obviously gonna pull, but the Padfoot is not here, or it's not being buffed by the Tides. So I could pull the Padfoot and it'll pull the Oarsman and the Duelist without pulling the Emissary of the Tides. That just but that also relies on nobody to open up on them as they come through, because if you have like a Boomy, if like, oh, trash is pulled and I'm gonna Sunfire, if he Sunfires the Duelist and the Oarsman while they still have the buff from the Tides, it's gonna pull all of it. So best case is just like, all right, boys, just chill for 1 second. I'm gonna tag this. These 3 boys are gonna come back, and the tides will just fucking chill there. I wish I would have noticed that during the key. I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't, but yeah. So things to think about, and things for me to remember the next time I come in here this week, that I will remember that, and probably pull these mobs after I do this pack over here, just to help me avoid pulling some of the other trash over here, because I really want to keep risk to my party to a minimum, and pulling a bunch of Buccaneers and Harpooners is not a way to reduce risk. That's actually most likely going to kill somebody, especially on a higher key. So anyways, very long-winded, I'm sorry, but I just felt like, seems like appropriate information. Hit me up in the comments down below if you have any questions, comments, concerns. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Links to the Discord are and my week auras and such is in the description below the video. Swing by Twitch, man. I'm here pretty much every day. I do try to take off 1 day a week. I don't always, but I like to have a little bit of space for myself from time to time, not staring at my computer for 8 to 12 hours a day, but I'm here a lot, so swing by, come hang out, chat, join the conversation. We are very much a community, and more so than we ever have been, especially the community that I trying to find a non-conceited way to say this, but the community that I have built and am continuing to build, everybody's extremely helpful, everybody's very positive. Obviously we have our moments of a little bit of toxicity, of course, but what's a game if you can't have a little fun and talk a little bit of shit, so but that's it. So hit me up. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you very soon.